Let's install vCenter 8 on our ESXi server. So I have adjusted my Xubuntu WAN settings. Let me show you what I did. I have pointed my CD-ROM to a data store ISO file, and this data store ISO file is the one that I downloaded, VCSA 8.0. Right? You're going to want to make sure that you're connected and it shows up here. Now, once that's done, you're going to want to mount it. Go to the UI installer, Win64, and we'll just hit installer. This will come up. We'll hit install. Next, we'll accept the terms. This is the address of your ESXi host. So in my case, it's 7.11. These are in choice. If you're doing this at home, adjust the IP addresses accordingly. Okay. You should be able to confirm your credentials, your root credentials on ESXi server. And it's basically logging into that ESXi server in order to deploy this vCenter virtual machine to it. I'm just going to call it vCenter. Let's double check and I want to make sure my NS lookup works. And 0.17.3. Yep. So vcenter.hermione.local. And it needs a strong root password, right? So let me hunt one down. Stick with the defaults. We do have a tiny deployment. We have one very small diminutive ESXi host in the form of our Supermicro server or whatever you have at home. I'm gonna pick the larger of my two drives. If you only have one drive, pick what you got. I'm gonna do thin provision. The network is going to be 40 WAN, right? We've already configured that, and interestingly enough, you can put vCenter on a virtual network. I'm leaving the FQDN off for right now. So a reverse lookup is going to be done to make this happen anyway. So I'm just going to type in the IP address 0.0.17.3. It's a 24-bit net mask. The default gateway is going to be your wireless firewall. And the DNS server is going to be your newly minted DNS server that you should have completed in Milestone 2. Okay, next. And finish. Okay, and this will take some time to deploy stage 1. This screen will come back when it's time to deploy stage 2. This probably takes 5-10 minutes to do this stage. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, we're back. We've successfully deployed vCenter server. Let me click continue and take a look at this port 5480. So that's the management port for vCenter as opposed to the production port 443. All right, so let's log into the appliance, I guess. Okay. And now we'll do setup. And we're doing stage 2. Okay, so, hey, you notice it did the lookup, right? So I didn't type that in before, right? Let's synchronize with MTP servers. This is important because once we communicate with Active Directory and we log in with LDAP, those clocks need to be synchronized. We don't need to SSH into vCenter, at least not yet. Well, I'm going to pause while this circle keeps going around. Yeah, I lied. Okay, so the single sign-on domain by default, keep the default is vsphere.local. Later, we will join this up to Active Directory, and we'll have a single sign-on domain of yourname.local. The administrator password, this is a new one. I'm actually going to use the same one I use for root because it turns out that you essentially have the same credentials same privileges using both, so there's no real safety, right? Should look something like that. And off we go. This will take some time, so I'm gonna pause my video while it goes through this process. Okay, if everything went well and you had your 2 cups of coffee, your install stage 2 should be complete, and you can navigate to vCenter. So let's log in. So you're going to want to come in as a administrator at vsphere.local using your strong password. Not very fair to have an issue right off the bat, but let's see what they have to say. Yeah, we'll look at that later. Okay, moving right along. So we'll do updates at some point in time, but not quite yet. Let's go ahead and create our data center. So we're going to do a new data center. I'm going to call mine 480 DevOps. And a data center is a container that holds ESXi hosts or clusters of hosts. So we're going to add a host. So I'm adding my ESXi server. Hey, and it knows what it is. It knows the VMs it's running on. Okay, so you do have an evaluation license, and next week we're going to go ahead and license both our ESXi server and our vCenter server, and we'll stick with the defaults on this. Sure, this is where the host virtual machines will go for now. Later we'll add folders, and this will change in just a second. It should. Okay, and we have our host, and we can open it up, and we can see all our VMs. So this is where you're going to end up with this milestone. Essentially, you're going to show me this screenshot. All right. Good luck on your milestone. And by the way, you're going to want to in your milestone video, you're going to want to walk me through all your documentation. I can show you an example of that. This is where I've been documenting stuff that I want to essentially publish to the world, but it has the level of detail that I'm talking about, where you do the install, you take your notes, um, you walk through the process, how to log into vCenter, how to create a data center. I have 2 hosts in this one. You do not have to do this part. We're going to be doing this later, integrating Active Directory. So that's a part of another milestone. But you get a sense for the level of detail that I'm expecting in your technical journal, and don't just copy paste mine. All right. Good luck on your milestone. Bye.